Now, this truly will be a short one. I didn't intend on recording, but I read an article about this forum. It's called 1015, kind of like Cedar Post. It's a blog for Border Patrol agents, and they make a lot of racist comments, sexist comments, talking about bodies floating, like the migrants that died. They make jokes about it. They make jokes about, what else? ISIS migrant was carrying a little kid in a bag, and they were joking about him eating him, and at least already in the bag, referring to him as, being a thing, not a person. And the Border Patrol said they're going to look at it, and they might. I don't believe it. I put no value in their word, but I want to talk about the audacity of trying to police Border Patrol when you got a president that does the exact same thing on a regular basis. These agents do. One thing I learned in criminal justice, leadership leads from the front. You've got to lead. You got to inspire your people. Trump, on a regular basis, attacks people. Uses infantile language, uses borderline racist language, and is divisive. And that's why I say about the conservatives traditionally have not done what Trump has done. When you do what Trump is doing, you really destroy the moral fabric of the institutions. You do. He doesn't care about it. You're going to be dead in a little while. He doesn't care. Trump don't give a damn about presidents. A man like in his 70s. He ain't thinking about 10 years from now. Or 10 minutes from now. And he said that. He's made comments to that very same point I just made. The point I'm trying to make is you can't sit here and get mad at Border Patrol agents for making borderline racist comments when your president's a racist. And I know people will say, well, they should still stand up. I guess it goes back to what I always tell you guys about us not mattering, our opinions not mattering, because to me it's plain as day. You can't hold them accountable for things leadership is not held accountable for. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. You can't. That falls out in his face. Trump has joked about many of the same kind of things on a regular basis. That's just real. So it's wrong. It's almost like they're his SS or something. His SS. I was gonna say brown shirts. That's them vigilantes on the border. And I'm talking about those are the kind of, not saying that they are his SS. I'm saying those are the kind of people who would be his brown shirts, who would go out here and commit acts of violence, who would go armed, ski masks. I think we have to really pay attention to that. That you actually have men running around with masks on and guns with a former Trump cabinet member. I think we have to really stop for a minute and take note of that. I believe in milestones in our lives, in history, in politics. That was a milestone. And the fact that Trump didn't come out and say, hey, what's he doing? I mean, I didn't expect him to, but it just shows you Trump is America. And if you don't think so, then you haven't been paying attention. And if you do think so, then you probably agree with the bullshit. But he's America. He's everything America is right now. Don't believe me? Take a look around. Take a walk outside. Pick up a newspaper. You can't be mad at Border Patrol agents. It's kind of like remember the tortures they had at that prison in Iraq? They're raping those guys and piling them up in naked and mock executing them and putting the dogs on them and all. Abu Ghraib. And people got so mad at the people did it, they didn't realize something. when you have people like Donald Rumsfeld, there's the things he wants done, he doesn't have to say it. It's the institution. It's the spirit that goes within the institution. He don't have to say it. They get the message. The muzzles come off. People get their ass whooped. You know, it's the spirit of the thing. And I didn't really get that. And I get that now, that it isn't about what's on paper. It isn't about meetings and boardroom. It isn't about any of that stuff. You know, don't ask me how. But the spirit that they wish, it filters down. And it may be worse than they asked for. They may get more than they asked for. I may say, hey, man, I want y'all to get me done with 100 papers. They may get 500 papers done. But the point is, that's the spirit of what I want. I'm like, I want y'all to really do more than that. Peace, y'all.